love, and loss, inviting readers to embark on transformative journeys of self-discovery through understanding. Danielle's debut book, The Daughter Left Behind, Navigating Life Without My Mother, is a testament to her unwavering commitment to storytelling and her profound ability to touch the hearts of others. As she continues to pursue her passion for writing, Danielle remains dedicated to sharing her experiences and insights with the world, one page at a time. Let's give her another round of applause. Okay, Danielle, we're going to have you read an excerpt now from the book. You ready? We ready. Let's go. Yeah, can you make me a Carlin Page, 42, Oklahoma, Texas, died Monday, January 14, 2008, at Christmas St. Elizabeth Hospital. Funeral will be Saturday, January 26, 2008, at 11 a.m. at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church with burial at Sacred Heart Cemetery under the direction of Outreach Military Staff. Visitation will be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Saturday at church. Survivors include her father, Raymond H. Jr. of Oklahoma, Texas, son, Nathan D. Moore, and daughter, Danielle M. Moore of Oklahoma, Texas. Sisters, Sheila Hinton, Charlotte Gage, of Oklahoma, Texas, and Rachel Gage of Houston, Texas. Brothers, Raymond Gage III and Alexander Chambers Gage of Oklahoma, Texas, and a host of other relatives and friends. Read the obituary of my mother. My life changed in a matter of hours. Little did I know, that morning I got up and was ready for school. How was I supposed to know that by the end of the day, I would be changed the rest of my life? January 14, 2008, after weeks of being chewed out for failing math, Alzheimer's passing, I've gotten an 89 on the test, which put my average up to 70, if I remember correctly. Which were good stars, I know. But that was usual. Math has always been a struggle. I even asked to live home so I could show my mom. My grandpa picked me and my brother up after school, though that routine, it wasn't completely uncommon. Upon getting in the car, I asked, "Where's Mom?" I'm told she's in the hospital. We'll go see her later today. Again, it's not uncommon. My family is relatively sickly, so it wasn't out of the ordinary. I thought nothing of it. If anything, my good grade, and the fact that I was passing, would make me feel better. Nonetheless, we carry on about our day. We go home, do our homework, eat dinner, and finally, time to go see Mom. Once there, I noticed that most of my family was there. It didn't hit me that this could mean my mom isn't doing well. I was just happy to see her. At one point, I forget we're even in a hospital. There were jokes going around between everyone. We were playing in the section that had everything. There wasn't a feeling of death in the air, honestly. I remember feeling happy to see everybody. I remember thinking my mom was going to feel so much love from having everyone be there. Having laughed so much, I've forgotten why I was even there. The feeling of love and family was heavy. I couldn't wait for my mom to feel that everyone was here for her. I remember telling stories of us all. Looking back on it, I should have known something was wrong. I should have known she wasn't okay. Otherwise, why would everybody be here? Why would family from out of town have come to my mom if she was okay going home something? Then the atmosphere changed. I felt it as soon as it happened. My aunt, her sister, is such a gentle person, but at this moment, I didn't want her name. Before this moment, my aunt and I weren't really close by any means. For the first time, I think I'm actually seeing her. She walks over to us, my brother and I, in what feels like slow motion. I know what she will say before the words even left her mouth. Grabbing both of us by the hands and walking us to the empty part of the hallway, she says, "I'm sorry, baby, but your mom passed." She has tears in her eyes, and I want her to repeat herself, even though I know what she said won't change. I don't believe her at first as I come to the ground. For the first time, I feel alone. The hallway fades, and I don't see or hear anything around me. I see that she's still talking, and someone is trying to hold me up. Finally, some sound comes back to me, and I hear her screaming. I remember wondering who was screaming and wanting them to shut up. Minutes pass before I realize it's me that's screaming, but I can't stop it. The light seems so dark now. Everything seems so low. Why can't I stop screaming? My aunt tries to see me to know that. Thank you, Danielle.
Yay!
Okay, I did want to ask some questions, if that's okay. We'll let you answer. Have you always wanted to be an author? No, I did not. Actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer and a mechanic. Those that know me, no, that was never going to happen. I wanted to be a lawyer because I used to watch Claire Huxtable all the time, and it was pretty easy. And legally blind. I felt like if I was good, I could do it. And a mechanic, because my grandfather used to work on cars, and it seemed pretty cool. So I just got to know perfectly. Did you want to be a lawyer and a mechanic? Yes. At the same time. Don't know how we can have. But yeah. Jane Law what is some advice that you could offer to other writers? My advice would be just do it. Like, if you want to write, if you want to be an author, literally just start writing. It's not as hard as you actually think it is. Just be consistent. Because the more you're consistent, the more it becomes like a norm. And by the time you finish 30 days, you don't have a story or just a bunch of words. So I know that this is the first book that is published, but have you written anything else? Do you have anything else in the works? I have like mini stories that obviously is not published, but I do have other stories that are like works in progress, but yeah, this is my own book. What's your favorite part about being an artist? That other people get to read my perspective. And that is, I guess that sounds like kind of egotistical. But, like, you get to build a scene so for other people to understand you. What inspired you to write this book specifically and complete this book and publish this book? Actually, initially, this wasn't going to be a book. It was going to be for like other people to read. But writing it because most of my life I have been a very angry and very sad individual. I suffer from depression really, really bad, and in relationships, I told repeatedly that I wasn't capable of being in love or being in love, and I always thought, well, what's wrong with me? Or I always feel like something was wrong with me. And I never understood why, like where it came from. Because looking back on my childhood, I had a pretty stellar childhood. Like it wasn't really sad, it wasn't really, like it was very chill. So I didn't understand why would I be a depressed person, why would I be, like why would I struggle with suicide and things like that. So I wanted to understand why I felt the way I felt all these years. And I wanted to figure it out, I guess. Because looking back on it prior to my mom and even my grandfather, I was a very, very happy. I don't remember me being sad. I don't remember me being angry outside of like normal kid stuff. But after that, it's like everything just kind of, I had very high highs and very low lows. There was no medium anymore. There was no like mellowness. And I wanted to understand that. And I wrote this for myself. I started for myself. And then in the midst of writing, I figured, well, other people might benefit from my words. Because I am in a couple of like writers groups on Facebook and stuff. And I kind of threw this idea out to them first. And I got a lot of feedback from other women that had gone through the same stuff and were struggling with the same stuff. And me always being a very agitator, I wish that there was something like this when I was on the side of the so alone, and so this is hard. Yeah.
For this book specifically, what was the most challenging scene or chapter for you to write about?
It would be writing about finding out that my mom died and seeing her, because I had never dealt with any of that. Like, I kind of, afterwards, my neighbor took me in therapy, which for me personally didn't help. But I'm all for therapy. I feel like everybody needs it in some form. But for me personally, that didn't help. And I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. What was the question?
What was the most difficult or challenging chapter?
Yeah. Okay. So finding out that my mom died and actually seeing her, because I had never dealt with those feelings. And I kind of just kept it moving or whatever, and kind of just put it in a box in the back of my head. It was just never dealt with it, never felt it. So that was difficult to kind of sit in those feelings, because when you're writing, you have to kind of write a visual, so to speak. So, like, I had to really figure out what it was that I was feeling at that time, and I had to remember, like, what she looked like in conversations that were had and how I was feeling, and that was like super difficult. I actually stopped writing it a couple times because that was just hard to do.
So being that this is about you, your mom, your family. the book already. I don't know how many of like family members have read the book or know what all the book entails. Have you gotten any feedback of what, people feel about you writing about this subject in particular, or?
Family-wise, I have gotten a lot of support, more support than I actually thought I would. Surprisingly. A lot of them didn't know I was writing the book at all, so when I finally told them, they were like super surprised and very proud of me. I've gotten that a lot of people are proud of me for doing this, which is really weird. It's a lot of feelings, and I don't deal with feelings very well. So it's been great, and the feedback has been
That's all I have. If you're comfortable, I don't know if anyone in the audience has read the book, the first book already and read it. Are you comfortable opening the floor to questions from the audience? Sure. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
What's your favorite part of the book? You said what your most challenging part is. What's your favorite part of the book?
my favorite part of the book would be
I wasn't expecting you to choke this hard. Like,
I guess I don't really have one favorite part because I thoroughly enjoyed the journey of the whole thing. Because like I said, I don't do well with my emotions and dealing with them in the struggle. This book kind of forced me to deal with them and forced me to ask questions that I never thought to ask and seek out more information. Because prior to sitting and writing this book, I didn't know I suffered a traumatic experience. I didn't even know that was a thing for losing somebody. Because people are really going to be. So I don't have one particular favorite part.
Hello, Danielle. Hello. My question was, I like that this page 52 where you had teachers who rallied behind you, the support. I love that, but and I can also relate. I wasn't a teen mom, but I was very young when I got married, 19 years old. So I can relate to page 56. Being a teen parent and young mom was hard as hell, let me tell you.
You want to tell me a little bit about that? And where is your son? You wrote in the book that you did have.
He is currently chilling at his cousin's house. Okay. Because he would rather be there than hang out with his mom.
How old is he?
He will be 13 this year. Yes, being a teen mom was hard as hell. Because you are forced kind of to grow up. So, when my friends was doing, everything that teens and early 20s do, I didn't have that option really. So it was tough. But it wasn't as hard as it could have been because when I say my baby was my backbone and without her, I don't know where me and Isaiah would be right now. So it wasn't
having that support, like you said, your nanny means the world to any young girl, young parent, because that's what's missing is the support. And I commend your family to supporting you in your endeavors as becoming a writer as well. Thank you for answering my question.
Do we have any other questions?
In one of your latter chapters, I see that you said that you honestly didn't know how to start the chapter. You had to take a break from writing for a while because with writing this one, you had to think about and deal with things that you thought that you had let die. But you hadn't. Everything that messed you up was still there. None of it has suffocated in its respective boxes. I can sit and talk about it all day, but I will never feel better or get over it. I guess that's why therapy didn't work for me to move on. You're correct. You are very correct. Because you know that you're talking to an aunt that has been through multiple situations that you and I have been able to relate to each other about. And you know what I'm talking about. So you know you're correct in saying that. But what I want to tell you is since you've broken out of that Pandora box and you've gotten this out, then that means that that part is dead to you now. Because, see, things that we take and we hold so deep, they're the ones that crush us when they really need to be surfaced. So that's what you've done in writing this book. You brought some things to the surface. That means they're not in your belly no more. That means you don't have that heartache no more. That means that won't be in your head spinning you around. That means those open doors are open for a reason. Keep walking through them. Don't step back. When you take a step back, that's when you fall. This book is going to set a lot of women free. Because you took the initiative to do something that was in your belly that you never had an opportunity, you thought, to come to pass. This is your story. And it will not be the last. To you, niece, I say, well done. Well done.
Hey. Hey, Daniel. I want to say congratulations. I am a big fan of your book. Coming from, we share similar stories. You losing my mom and stuff. And like your Ernest said, I think it's going to open up a lot of doors for a lot of kids that went through, things that you went through, because it is, we don't know how to navigate. And it's still hard to this day, especially even as a teen mom. So my question would be, what would be your advice to the kids that's growing up today that's still losing their parents? What would be your advice for the parents that's left behind, or for the child to be their next step, so they kind of won't go through some of the things that we didn't go through, I don't know if y'all answered that in the room like that,
That's actually a good question.
what would be my advice? First, I would tell, especially a child, that I'm so sorry they have to be part of the club, that nobody wants to be a part of it. Because regardless of your age, being a part of the dead parents does suck. sucks. Even if he wasn't super close to that parent, it just sucks. I would tell them to find someone that is a light, so to speak, because during that time, especially in the beginning years, I wouldn't say months, because when you lose a parent, people don't realize they like keep going. But you didn't have this parent for your whole life. And now you gotta figure out what to do after you lose them, and you don't know what to do. It's really a tough of like you are super confused, and things do get super duper dark for a lot of people. Not for everybody, because everybody is different and everybody handles grief differently. But I would advise them to find a light, and that doesn't necessarily mean a person, because people are fickle and feelings change every day. And when you anchor yourself to a person, when they feelings go up and down, your feelings go up and down, and you don't realize it in the moment, and then once they are tired of being on that roller coaster, that person that you made your life, you kind of fall back into the darkness because you don't have a person anymore. I would advise giving therapy a try or writing, and you don't have to be in a journal is fine. Finding a friend, for some people, they see their relationship grow bigger with God. For me, that was not the case. So I guess it would just depend on the person. And, you know, because everybody is super different, so it would depend on that person and how they do, I guess, with my
Any other questions? You don't? Okay.
And I thank you, Danny. I really, really do. Because honestly, oh Lord, honestly, if you hadn't have been there, I would not be here. I wouldn't be 30 this year. And Isaiah would not be alive. And I am so thankful. Because you helped make me the person I am, and I hate you helped made me the person I am, and you helped me understand what kindness is to give people, and you helped me instill that in my child, who is the kindest person I know, to the point that it gets on my nerves, honestly. But you helped me do so much when you yourself were going through so much and didn't know how to deal with me. And I know people say you don't deal with children, but you was dealing with your child, and I appreciate that, because I can't even read at the time. And writing this and looking back on everything that I honestly put you through, it's nothing but God's grace that you didn't ship me off so well. because I know I was hard to deal with, and I know that it was a difficult time for everybody, and I know that my perception as a 13-year-old girl is not the same as the perception of everybody else that was going through losing her. And I understand now that it was so hard for everybody. Then I didn't understand it, and then I was so angry, and you handled all of that with so much grace. And I'm truly, truly blessed that you raised me. I really am. Because my life could have turned out different. Me and Isaiah's life could have turned out super different. And you have given me so much, and I will never be able to repay you. And that's it. Just, I'm stuck around. I'm okay with more questions.
Does anyone else have any questions or remarks?
I'll leave my thing. I'm like her. I just want to say thank you, because when I bought my book, when I came here, I began to read it. And the first chapter is what got me, because I had to put it down because I wanted to cry, because I wasn't a teen when I lost my mom, but I was in my early 20s. And I thank God because she was one of them that was there for me. I had just joined this church, and the women of the church, they had my back. But I was like, when I was reading the part when you said how they would drag me out the room, and like, this the only person in your life, and that's what happened to me, and that's what happened to my youngest son, even though it was his dad that died when he was 12. And that's what we was doing, and I went through the motion, I had to do and it made me just think that your book is going to heal some people that just sit and they don't know it, that they is actually walking through grief, like you said. You got the unknown folks that said grief is like living two lives. Yes, it is like living two lives. They don't know they're walking through emotion. They don't know that they are going through two lives in this world. And your book is going to bring healing, and it's going to bring restoration to their life, and then God going to rekindle the time that they lost. But I just want to thank you for it, because it just made me think, because I was that person that after everything was over with, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like she was saying, I didn't know what to do. But it made me think, and it made me go back to that day, okay, I know why now, because like you were saying in your book, that it's a testimony for somebody. They're going to bring some healing to everybody in the room that spoke. Just by reading, it brought healing to them. And you keep going, like, you just keep going, you just keep pushing. Yes, you got preacher books in there, and every last one of your books is going to bring healing to friends, family, whoever, national, world, global. It's going to bring healing, because you have something that's inside of you that you got to get out.
Okay, that is the last.
I got a question.
Oh, wow.
So my question for the girls like Kiki and kids like Kiki and these young ladies, the kids, like, what would you tell them about embracing their parents before it's too late? Would you ever have a conversation with a kid about taking advantage of having their parents? Or like, what would you tell people, like, I want kids that at risk and do crazy stuff, like, what would you tell them?
Let me tell you. Because I lost my mom at such a young age, I tell any and everybody, and usually it's with, people my own age, but that if you do have your parents, whatever beef y'all have, if it's not life endangering, then fix it. If you can fix it, fix it. If you're able to fix it, fix it. Because it like I said, it sucks. It sucks so bad. And when you are a young girl, my dad said something to me one time that hurt my nerve. He said to me, we were having a conversation, and But in all honesty, to an extent, he was right. Because it's so much that a young girl needs to learn in order to walk in her, in who she is, to walk as a woman with her head held high, and most of those things your mom has to teach you. You have to learn from your mom or another figure. So my advice and what I say always is if you have your parents and you're able to fix whatever relationship it is that y'all have, fix it. Because when they're gone, you're going to have so many more questions as you grow older. Even if you are grown and you haven't talked to your mom, your dad for 15, 20 years, when they're gone, it's like a hole, you know, because it's this person that you have had in your life to some capacity for your whole life, and people don't realize that your mom and your daddy wasn't always a mom and dad, but you have always been their child. You've always been the kid. You've always been the one that was taken care of. So to lose a person, and I didn't realize my mom was my whole heart, and I didn't understand that. Because when I tell you being that woman with bump heads, like nobody business, because I had a mouth on me, and I still do to an extent. But when she passed, it was like a hole, and you know, those early years especially, I had so much learning to do, and I had so many questions that she couldn't answer, that when I had the chance to learn so much from her, I did it. And, you know, I understand that adolescents go through adolescent stuff. Like, you going through people and all that. I get that. Everybody got attitudes. I understand that. But cherish your parents while they're here, because they have lived a whole life without you. They have so much knowledge that you won't even begin to grasp, because the world you live in now and the world you're going to live when you've grown is not the same world they grew up in. So they have knowledge that you will never get. So even if they hurt you, even if, you know, y'all conversation come to blows sometimes, still at some point have conversations with your parents and love your parents while they're here. Unless they are hurtful to your life. I don't condone that. So if that's your life, you know, that's not the advice you give, obviously. But for young adults especially, like, cherish your moms while they're here. Because I promise you, when they're not here anymore, regardless on when you lose them, it's gonna be like a different life. Like the world isn't as bright as it used to be, regardless on when you lose your mom, or regardless when you lose your dad. Like, it's just different. You sneaking anymore? Okay. You need a mic?
No, I don't need a mic.
Okay.
I understand exactly what she's talking about. I worked with kids for 12 years at the Salvation Army Boys Club. We had boys and girls there. Okay? And we had to deal with a lot of stuff. And I understand about your mother and everything. I got a daughter. Her mother passed. Okay, some 40 years ago. And she's going through the same thing you're going through. She haven't got over it yet. She still looks for her mother, talk to her mother. She go back now, she live in Houston. Go back to Houston, go to Beaumont, visit her mother grave. Everything can she get. And she leave home from her husband
to an extent, you never get over a parent passing, regardless on how long it's been. For me, it's been a little over 16 years, I think. But like I said earlier, that's traumatic. That's like earth shattering to lose a parent, and you don't just, it's not just something you can get over. You kind of just learn to cope with it. And some people, like myself, are learning that in adulthood. Like, I'm 30, and I'm just learning to deal with my emotions. I'm just learning to understand how I feel. And that's all because up until fairly recently, my emotions are stunning. Like, I didn't want to feel, in all honesty, and I wasn't going to in a life connect. And that's just what it was. You got anger or you got something. So now that I'm a lot older, in my child, I understand that I have to teach him to be emotionally literate. And a lot of people, especially people that don't have the best relationship with their parents, don't understand what being emotionally literate means. So for me, it's a struggle to teach someone how to deal with their emotions and how to feel what they're feeling and how to understand, like, when they're sad, and not to sit in it, and understand what makes them angry, and understand that they can set boundaries, that that's okay, that they can say no, that that's fine. To teach somebody that is also teaching yourself that's really hard.
It's been over 40 years, and she still having, she looking for pictures of her mom and everything. Every kid post those who want to send us pictures. She hasn't got over. I'm trying to
And she might not. She might not ever get over it. She might just one day become.
But it's hurt her. I tell her all the time, you got to get over it. You don't get over it. I don't know.
It's a tough thing to get over it. It might be helpful to her. Because for some people, especially women, especially Black women, for some reason, we feel like we gotta suffer alone or go through things alone, and we don't. And because of that, we feel like we're alone. We feel like, oh, this is only happening to me, and it's not. And a lot of us don't want to reach out to other people to kind of form a community of life experiences. We rather figure it out ourselves. It is hard for us to understand that we don't have to figure it out ourselves. Like, we don't have to hit your head against the wall 1,000 times.
That's what we say, figure it out. She's trying to figure it out. She helped figure it out. That's right.
My name is Dr. Tuck, and I'm a friend of Richard, and I'm just so happy to see what you're doing, because it's very, very about this young lady. She's graduating today. I end up here for graduation and different things. So my students are graduating today as we speak. And I'm always praying for them wherever they are. But this one young lady, her mom passed about 3 years ago. And the young lady was 15. And, she ended up having to live with her aunt, on the father's side. And then she had an aunt on her mother's side who passed. And she's dealing with, people taking her money, taking advantage. So that's another book that I'm putting to charge to you to put something in writing to kind of help these young ladies who lose a parent early and need some kind of guidance financially about how to pick up the pieces and become a young woman to be able to take care of Social Security that mom left behind for her. Because over here, or on this side, mom's side, on dad's side, taking advantage of it. So it's just a lot of things dealing with just what you're talking about, being, a young lady and losing a parent. So I commend you, and I'm going to do everything I can in Houston, Texas, to see if we can get you on the Chitlin circuit to put your book out there, and not only help young ladies, but also young men. When they lose the money, it's something else. So that's another book. So I can give you about 2 more books. So it's nice to meet you. Congratulations.
I just want to say I'm proud of you, and I know if Mama's still here, she's proud of you too.
I just want to address the gentleman in the back, if it's okay. Can you see me after this is over, please? So I can give you some insight or maybe some kind of insight on how to and where to go to for your daughter, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say one thing to her? It's not for me to fight like you. I'm getting ready to have something in August for the teenage girls. That's what you're for. So you need to speak to it just like she said, because I have a mentorship program, and I have too many. I normally get children that either lost a parent, and I have a lot of them. And a lot of girls come to me, and I work in Lumberton ISD, and I work in what can I do in Lumberton too, because we have so many girls that mothers is down and they don't know where to go, and they about to give up, and that's why so many of our teenagers are suicidal, and that's why they cut themselves, and they not let their parents or whoever have custody of them. So I would be saying, can I do that?
Yeah, since you mentioned suicide, I'm glad to say that, because I was looking through some things, she must have wrote about, I don't know how many years ago, but what you said, she left a note. She left a note to y'all. You know about?
Any other questions? Statements? Remarks? Okay, before I turn it back over to Danielle for her final thank yous, I did want to mention, I know a lot of people bought their books and everything before we got started, so there are, looks like,
3,
the
4, including that one and that one. So yeah, like 4.
4 more left for purchase afterward.
Yeah, 4.
Back here by the snacks, there are pens and napkins. Those are for y'all to take as well. And then we're still doing a drawing. Are we going to do a drawing right here? We're going to do a drawing.
I just want to say something. I just want to say that.
Well, the little girl did say.
I do want to say that I'm proud of you, Danielle, because you don't deal with emotions at all. And I'm happy that you did write this book. And I'm happy that you accomplish like this, because I know some things you will stop at. So I'm very proud of you, and I hope that you keep it going.
Did everybody get a ticket before we went to
Hey, I ain't get no ticket. Over there.
Everybody got a ticket?
I'm my ticket.
Zero, 0, 2.